Hi, Julius Caesar, The Rise of Rome. Hook. What if one man could change the fate of an entire civilization? What if that man rose from political chaos, conquered millions, and transformed a republic into an empire? This is the incredible story of Julius Caesar, the brilliant general whose ambition reshaped Rome forever. At the height of Roman power, the republic was crumbling. Corrupt politicians fought for influence. Wealthy nobles controlled the Senate, and ordinary citizens struggled to survive. Rome needed a leader. Instead, it got a legend. Born in 100 BC into the noble Julian family, Julius Caesar grew up surrounded by political conflict. Although his family claimed to descend from the goddess Venus, they were far from the richest in Rome. When the ruthless dictator Sulla seized power, Caesar was ordered to divorce his wife because of her political connections. He refused. That single decision nearly cost him his life. Forced into hiding, Caesar escaped execution and eventually joined the Roman army, where he quickly earned a reputation for courage and intelligence. But his greatest victories were still ahead. One of the most famous stories from his early life happened when pirates captured his ship. They demanded a ransom of 20 talents of silver. Caesar laughed and told them they were asking for too little. He insisted they demand 50 talents instead. While waiting for the ransom, Caesar treated the pirates as if he were their commander rather than their prisoner. He joked with them, gave them orders, and repeatedly promised that once he was free, he would hunt them down and crucify them. The pirates thought he was joking. He wasn't. After his release, Caesar gathered a small fleet, captured every pirate, recovered the ransom money, and carried out exactly what he had promised. It was a clear sign of the determination that would define his entire life. Back in Rome, Caesar entered politics. He understood something many others didn't. People followed leaders who inspired them. Through powerful speeches, public celebrations, and bold promises, he won the support of ordinary Romans. Soon, Caesar formed a powerful alliance with Pompey the Great, Rome's greatest general, and Crassus, the richest man in the Republic. Together, they became known as the First Triumvirate, an unofficial partnership that dominated Roman politics. After becoming consul, Caesar received command of the Roman provinces in Gaul. It was there that history changed forever. For nearly 10 years, Caesar fought dozens of tribes across what is now France, Belgium, and parts of Germany. Outnumbered many times, he relied on discipline, speed, and brilliant strategy. His soldiers admired him because he marched alongside them, shared their hardships, and rewarded their bravery. By the end of the Gallic Wars, Caesar had conquered vast territories, expanded Rome's borders, and gained enormous wealth. More importantly, he had built an army fiercely loyal to him personally rather than to the Roman Senate. That frightened Rome's leaders. The Senate feared Caesar had become too powerful. They ordered him to surrender his army before returning to Italy. Caesar faced an impossible choice: obey the Senate and lose everything, or march on Rome itself. In 49 BC, he made the decision that changed history forever. Standing before the Rubicon River, the legal boundary his army was forbidden to cross, Caesar gave the order to advance. The die is cast. With those famous words, he launched a civil war that would end the Roman Republic. Caesar defeated Pompey and his allies one by one. His victories made him the undisputed ruler of Rome. He introduced reforms, expanded citizenship, reorganized the government, and even reformed the calendar, creating the foundation of the modern calendar, we still use today, but power always creates enemies. Many senators feared Caesar wanted to become king, a title Romans hated after centuries of republican rule. On the Ides of March, 44 B.C., a group of conspirators surrounded him inside the Senate. Among them was Brutus, a man Caesar trusted. 23 stab wounds ended the life of Rome's greatest general. Yet his death did not save the Republic. Instead, it plunged Rome into another series of civil wars that eventually brought Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, to power as Augustus, the first Roman emperor. In trying to stop one man from ending the Republic, the conspirators unknowingly ensured its final collapse. More than 2,000 years later, Julius Caesar remains one of history's most influential figures. Military leaders study his campaigns, politicians admire his charisma, and historians still debate whether he was a hero, a tyrant, or both. One thing, however, is beyond debate. Without Julius Caesar, the history of Rome and perhaps the world itself would have been completely different.